correction. This is what the original draft read. And again, this was signed. We further reject any teaching that encourages racial groups to view themselves as entitled victims of oppression.
My goodness.
Nothing else said about oppressors, just victims of oppression. Whoa. We further deny that one person's feelings of offense or oppression necessarily prove that someone else is guilty of sinful behaviors, oppression, or prejudice. And that, there, friends, is a confessional example of gaslighting.
I think that's probably caused me the most disturbance about the men who signed the social, the statement and the statement of social justice has been actually the rhetoric that has come out afterwards on the issue of victimhood. I mean, I think Jim MacArthur preached those sermons after the statement, three sermons on social justice. Justin Peters, has an article, and basically where they basically deny a biblical view, I think, of victimhood. Basically, and it's in summary, it's saying there's no such thing as a victim because we've all sinned, which is it's an amazing error to make, actually. But really, that's a fair summary of what they're saying. They say, listen, so Justin Peters, for example, speaks about his own sufferings and says, I don't treat myself as a victim. I've sinned. I'm undeserving of. But at that point, he's missing the point. Of course, so Justin Peters has cerebral palsy, and had it for most of his life, I believe. Now, of course, I understand that the ramifications of that is sin. But if someone was to, because of his situation, abuse him or take advantage of him, he would have been a victim of some. So, and I just remember one thing. I remember, in the book of John, it's chapter 9, the Lord, the man who's born blind, and the disciples assume that he's done something, wrong, and almost basically that he's in his position because
he's a sinner.
He's a sinner. He's not entitled to any kind of pity or compassion, and the Lord says, actually, no, far from it. Not that this guy is without sin. But actually, there's no actual sin you can point to that means he deserves the situation he's in.
It's not that he earned this.
So that's a very... I know Yannick has a lot to say about that, but it's actually a very unbiblical view of victimhood. And I'm just looking for the section. They do kind of hint at it. I'll find it in a moment. And I would say that's one part that's definitely erroneous.
I think the issue is really... It's a conflation of innocence and perfection. We are all sinners, but sinners can be innocent in a given situation. And there's an inability to distinguish between those two, and really, you just destroy any notion of justice if you don't realize that though you are a sinner, yes, that doesn't mean that you cannot be innocent. That doesn't mean you can't be a victim of oppression. And in fact, the Psalms are full of David in particular talking about various situations where he is an innocent victim. And Justin Peters, the article, he says something along the lines of the only justice that's important is the one that I don't want. Essentially saying that the only justice that is relevant is the justice that we deserve from God because we're sinners. And again, that kind of flattening things out is just not helpful.